Welcome back, Truth Seeker. It is Tuesday, March 4th, 2025, and the tariffs that were put on pause at the beginning of last month have been reinstated by the numbers, once again in tribute to Adam Smith. Adam Smith, who wrote The Wealth of Nations, a book that argued for why tariffs should never be imposed by governments because they lead to the destruction of economies. And remember, Donald Trump is nothing but an actor. Our government's a complete joke, and all of this is being done intentionally, paying tribute to history, and the saying, those who don't know history are doomed to repeat it. We told you 4 years ago why Trump would be reinstated as Grover Cleveland Part 2, and look at what happened to the economy in Grover Cleveland's second term. His policies led to economic destruction. So, again, understanding that this is all a puppet show, Trump paused his tariffs on February 3rd, the 34th day of the year. Here was AP that day. President Donald Trump on Monday agreed to a 30-day pause on his tariff threats against Mexico and Canada. So that was the 34th day of the year. Now here we are on March 4th, the old inauguration day, 3/4, as we would write it in the U.S., corresponding with the Gematria of tariffs. Again, if you're new here, Gematria is the Kabbalistic practice of coding numbers into words. For anyone who would roll their eyes at this, you're rolling your eyes at facts. Your government uses this code every day with every last ritual they do. And if you would just take the time to understand that, you would see through your government with laser vision. It doesn't matter if Trump's in there, or Biden's in there, or Obama's in there, or a Bush is in there, or a Clinton's in there. This is what they're doing. And why would they be doing this? What is DC known as? The Masonic City. What's Masonry based in? Kabbalah. Where's this thing of letters and numbers come from? Kabbalah. That's why. And if you are new here, there are 4 base ciphers to the English language: the alphabetic order with numerology, the reverse alphabetic order with numerology. Again, I learned this in Manly P. Hall's The Secret Teachings of All Ages, published in 1926, almost 100 years ago now. Go back to the beginning, the whole Ukraine debacle. You see how tariffs in Ukraine are the exact same in all 4 ciphers, and these are Trump's 2 dilemmas right now, what to do about Ukraine. He said he was going to end the war right away. Zelensky's playing hard. Remember, they just had their big fallout 34 days after Zelensky's 47th birthday. You don't think that was a puppet show by the numbers that set up the SNL skit? But again, go back to the beginning of the war in Ukraine that launched by the numbers pretty much on 2/22/2022 when Biden addressed the nation about it at 2:22 Eastern Standard Time. Anyway, go back to the beginning and you'll see that the headline right at the start of the war was what happened in Ukraine caused inflation to rise 7.9% in the U.S. That was a headline. We covered it back then, 7.9. You can see how tariffs in Ukraine have that 79. We'll come back to where that number gains more meaning. We're talking about the 34 right now. Trump's about to turn 79 years old, by the way. He's 78, like there's 78 cards in the tarot deck, and they're the top cards, the Trump cards in tarot. Talking about that too. Zelensky born in 78. Tarot's another 34 word. But let's not forget the 34 felony charges. But the 110, the word president is 110. These are the president's dilemmas, tariffs in Ukraine. And then, of course, he's number 47 and Trump equals 47. And he's performed a bazillion 47 rituals up to date since way before he became number 47. Literally everything he's done since he came in as number 47 has been a 47 rituals we've been documenting, including him imposing tariffs before he paused them exactly 47 weeks on the nose from the anniversary of the publishing of Wealth of Nations by Adam Smith, the book that talks about why governments should never use tariffs. Trump had to impose them exactly 47 weeks after the anniversary of publishing. With regards to the base ciphers, again, Trump's 88. Again, that was another reason we said years ago why he would come in at this time while the Pope would be 88 years old. Doesn't seem like the Pope's going to make it too much longer. But all affairs controlled by this Jesuit cabal are synced with the Pope. And right now we're living in the time of the first Jesuit Pope, who's 88. Trump, in the same cipher that equates to 25, like his 25% tariffs in 2025 that he announced on November 25th, just before the turn of the year. In that same cipher, Pope equals 25, as does Vatican, as does felon. He's the first felon president. We get our first felon president, you guys, in 2025. Do you get the joke? The whole court process with Trump was all political theater by the numbers. Alvin Bragg versus the Braggart. Trump's sitting in court right after they filmed the latest Joker scene, movie that released on the day, leaving 88 days left in the year. Both of them did. Both the Jokers released on the same date. But again, they just filmed the latest Joker scene in the same courtroom. Trump's in court for the first time, hearing about the 34 felonies on Heath Ledger's birthday anniversary on April 4th. He would have been 44. Trump was the 44th human being to be the U.S. president. Grover Cleveland's split term messed up the count, so Trump was number 45 the first time, but the 44th person. And then Trump in reverse is 29. But anyway, just pay attention to these numbers because they'll all get used ritualistically over and over with Trump. But Trump the felon with 34 felony counts, and now he's creating economic crimes, in the words of Adam Smith, with his tariffs that will make things even more expensive, that will help out his buddy's Klaus Schwab agenda, where he said by 2030 you'll own nothing and be happy. Now notice, from Trump's birthday to the tariffs being reinstated on 3/4 is 263 days later, the 56th prime. And remember, Trump's a Jesuit. They're known as the Society of Jesus. Society of Jesus equates to 56 forward, 79 in reverse. Again, if it's too many numbers, tariffs, Ukraine, 79. Washington, D.C. is where the Jesuits set up camp when they came to America. That's why the first Jesuit university, Georgetown's there. And because the Jesuits run the whole show, that's also why George Washington goes down as the first recognized president, because he was installed on this day 2 months after Georgetown opened up shop at the start of 1789. And just a reminder about one of Trump's other Jesuit buddies, Anthony Fauci. Remember when the scandemic was declared March 11th, 2020, on Anthony Fauci's 79th day of being 79 years old? Coronavirus, of course, has the same 56 in it, like toilet paper, like Regeneron, like mind control, like a million things that had to do with that, including it starting in 2020, 56 years after Trump's Jesuit education began. You can go on and on about these patterns. The 3 planes to hit targets on that date in the 9th month. On the 11th day, the 3 planes, 11, 77, and 175, add up to 263. Again, we were in New York explaining about that on the anniversary in 2022. And again, exactly 263 days after that, YouTube just deleted the whole channel, just out of nowhere. Little ritual on us. But yeah, notice how also Adam Smith, this is the thing, right? It's Trump versus history. Adam Smith published Wealth of Nations in 1776, the year this nation was born. But notice how Adam Smith is 88 in the same cipher as Trump, 34 in the same cipher as tariffs. 155 connects with the Masons. It also connects with the scandemic as well, and Trump being the father of the jab on 15/5 Mercurialia. Remember, the Corona thing has the 56 and 155 connection. The word Freemasons, the plural, has the 155, 56. Masonic ritual has the 88. A lot of that does happen in the Masonic city. But yeah, Adam Smith said tariffs are bad, okay? And just to remind you about this one, The Wealth of Nations was published on March 9th, 1776, so we're 6 days from the anniversary. That was 248 years ago. Another big number for why we knew Trump was coming back while the country was 248 years old, just like how the election was called for him while he was on 248 electoral votes back in 2016. That's when Bill and Hillary conceded. He ended up getting more, but they conceded while he was at 248. And again, you can see that Trump imposed his tariffs first on February 1st before we got the pause on the 34th day of the year. That was exactly 47 weeks, not by accident. Again, literally everything Trump has done since he come into office has been a 47 ritual. We've been keeping track of all of it. So 25% tariffs in 2025. And by the way, the day the tariffs were imposed was the Pope's 47th day of being 88 years old. And Trump and Adam Smith. This is how these people play. This is how these people mock us. Again, this is where all these phrases came from. Those who don't know history are doomed to repeat it. Your number's up. Your days are numbered. All the world's a stage. Political theater, the theater of war. Wealth of Nations is also 79. I almost forgot that one this time around. Oh, yeah. And then the day that the tariffs were paused was 201 days. From Adam Smith's death anniversary, which is 17/7, like 177. It's back when the Jesuits were being warned about what could happen to this nation if they came out of suppression, how it could be subverted. Again, you get people in a desperate situation. They'll hand over their rights and liberties for a bowl of porridge. Just come down, give up all your rights and liberties, come in, hand in your rifles, hand in your way of life. You can have a bowl of porridge down here. Free giveaways at the Catholic hospital. Come down to the church. America's over, but we got a bowl of porridge for you. Aren't you glad you voted for the chump? You didn't see the wolf dressed in sheep's clothing, did you? Not that he was ever even that. He was just always a wolf, preying on dummies. It's like how he told you the first time around. What did he say? He's grateful for all the... Didn't he say he's grateful for all the dopes? How did he phrase it? I love all the dummies. I forget how he said it. Something like that, though. Anyway, we'll leave it there for now, Truth Seeker. Till next time.